Welcome to the Asshat Arcade, my little getaway from reality. First game we come to is my multi-pack. The multi-pack is running the Wydell 96-in-1 multi-game board off of an original Pac-Man board. When I picked her up, she was in pretty decent condition, but I have since done a little bit of touch-up work, new T-molding, pulled the Pac-Man Plus kit off of it and installed the Wydell kit, rebuilt the joystick, painted the control panel, put a new control panel overlay on, sprayed the inside black areas and whatnot, and as you can see, currently got Pac-Man or Miss Pac-Man up. Overall, I'm quite proud of this machine. Looks good, plays good. Next, we have what I call Double Donkey Kong Plus. This is probably my most loved and my most hated machine. I hate it because of the fact of what I did to it. It was an original Donkey Kong Jr. when I picked it up, but it was one of my very first machines. I think it was my third machine total, after my MAME and a Joust that I had sold. And I did what I should not have done, and I jammatized it. I originally put a 48-in-1 in it, and have since converted it to a arcade shop board. As you can see, we've got Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong 2, Donkey Kong 3, Donkey Kong Jr., and a number of other 4-way games, in 2-way games running in this. No 8-way games, because I am definitely using the standard Nintendo controller as well as Nintendo buttons. Everything else is pretty much stock. Still got the Sanyo 20EZ inside of it, but unfortunately she has been jammatized. Such is life. Next, we've got the my original MAME cabinet. It's actually not the original cabinet. This is the second iteration of it. I had originally a 19-inch cabinet, but I upgraded to this monster when I picked it up. It was originally some wrestling game that had been converted to a Rampage World Tour, and I have converted it over to MAME. I promised somebody that I'd show the front end, so let me switch on the front end real quick here. And there's the front end there. Front end is MAME-WA, running a custom theme that I put together myself. All of the artwork and whatnot can be downloaded off the internet, and as well as the animations for each game. As you go into each game, you see an animation will start up and whatnot. Overall, it's probably the most used game, and the reason why is because of this game. World Class Bowling is by far the most popular game in during parties and whatnot. Probably because, well, it's a party type of game. It doesn't take very long for the game to load. There you go, ready to roll. We're going to go to one player. There we go. Okay, anyway. Next to the left of that we have Paperboy. Paperboy is actually Paperboy and Championship Sprint. I've got both boards and both kits. Currently it's Paperboy. I've got the Paperboy control panel on it and Paperboy marquee. I have both harnesses inside the machine, and it's just a matter of swapping board sets. Marquee and control panel takes about 10 minutes to do so. I prefer Paperboy, so Paperboy usually stays in it for the most part. However, I will switch over to Championship Sprint from time to time, pretty much just for the hell of it. I do have a new control panel overlay that I can stick on. I just have not done so yet. The only problem with this one is that little area right there. Overall, the cabinet's in good condition. I did put new vinyl on the sides, new side art on the sides. The monitor has been replaced. The original one that was in there was a turd. It had a bad tube. The board set was problematic and has since been replaced or partially replaced and partially repaired. Anyway, it's up and running and runs very well. To the left of that, I have got Tempest. Tempest is in pretty good condition overall. I do have a new marquee as well as a new control panel overlay on it. The monitor's been rebuilt and bulletproofed. I did manage to screw the monitor rebuild up. Couldn't figure out why I couldn't get it to work. Had to send it over to Mod in Texas, and he found a couple of bad traces and repaired it for me. Thank you very much, sir. Since then, it's pretty much running pretty good. You know, I don't have any problems with it at all. And there she is there. To the left of that, I have what I call my Capcom Anthology. Capcom Anthology has pretty much all custom artwork for the marquee and for the bezel. The control panel is a stock Capcom diamond plate type of control panel overlay, and I wanted to keep the theme going, so I went with the diamond plate pretty much all the way to the top. It is running a Capcom 18-in-1 multi-game board. I do plan on getting a Capcom CPS-1 14-in-1 multi-game board to go in there as well eventually. Currently it's just running the 18-in-1. Right now I've got Gigawing up, or Jigawing, whatever you want to call it. It has mostly fighters, this Puzzle Fighter 2, and both Dungeon and Dragon games are also included in the 18-in-1. It's a Dynamo Cabinet, and I don't know if you can see it down there, but it is on caster wheels, so I can move things around. All three of these games here are actually on casters because I want to be able to wheel them away from the garage door, which is in the back, if I ever need to bring something in through the door. To the left, I have my Asteroids. I've had Asteroids for quite some time now. It's in very good condition overall. Electronically, the cabinet itself has some pretty bad side art on one side. The other side's pretty decent. I would like to one day restore the side art on it. I just really can't justify the cost at this particular time, and I've had a couple of opportunities to pick up side art for relatively cheap. But considering it sits between two games, it's pretty much good for right now. The control panel was pretty rusted up, so this is a full wraparound control panel with new buttons on it, and everything else is stock. The marquee is stock. The game itself has been pretty much running fine since day one. I did rebuild the monitor just to bulletproof it. It's been running pretty solid. It's been running very solid since then. To the left of that, let's see here, we've got my battle zone. There's just too much to go into about the battle zone. Let's put it this way, I paid a whole lot more than I should have for it, and I've put a whole lot of time and effort into it. But it's worth it in the end. The game's running pretty damn good. There is a slight jiggle to the score area for one reason or another. I'm going to go ahead and replace the pots on the chassis sometime soon. And I hope that will rectify the jiggle issue. The cabinet itself is in pretty good condition overall. I've seen better, but I've seen a whole lot worse. Control panel's in good condition. Sticks play fine. Overall, the game is a great game, and I don't regret spending all of the money I did for it. It will not be leaving me anytime soon. This particular cabinet is on 4-inch wheels, whereas all the rest of them are on 3, for the main purpose that I'm a pretty tall guy. I'm at 6'4", and looking through the periscope or the viewfinder is difficult when it's so low. So I wanted to raise it up as high as I could. Frankly, I probably should have went 6 inches, but the 4 inches is fine. To the left of that, I have Race Drive-In. Race Drive-In is in very good condition. One of the few games that I didn't really have to do much other than clean it up. The monitor itself is starting to develop a slight line issue where I can notice in the middle of the screen sometimes you'll see a lighter area, a lighter line area. I'm guessing I'm going to need to rebuild the monitor shortly, but as it stands, it's in really good condition. The only thing I miss on it is the side art. I do not have the side art, just the Race Drive-In portion up top. No side art other than that. To the left of that is my vertical MAME cabinet. This cabinet also is running MAME Moi with a different theme on it, also custom made. I'm calling it my Verticade. Currently I've got Big Dog and Booze. It's my original marquee from when I first did my very first cabinet. I do need to update that with a Verticade cabinet or a Verticade marquee eventually. The game plays just vertical games for the most part. I tend to play mostly shooters with this game.